Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, some slightly devastating news coming out of Yankee camp today. Looks like Luis Gil will be out for the next 3 months. Got the results back from his MRI, and this was from last Friday when he had a throwing session, felt some soreness. They took him out, gave him the MRI, and again, well, I guess maybe not devastating, not lost for the year, but again, obviously it's going to be definitely at least 3 months, they say. Not good news for the Yankees there, but it does kind of solve another problem there, and we kind of figured this was going to happen. Now you can kind of insert Stroman in there, have him in your starting five, and kind of keep him quiet, as again, he's been blowing up early in spring about, only being starter and nothing else. So, as you mentioned before, these things usually solve themselves out. You usually don't want them to solve themselves out because that means someone's going to get hurt. And I actually kind of threw out the name that maybe Luis Gil would be one of those people that would get hurt like that. So, it looks like it actually happened. So, we'll get into that. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, the podcast, to get updates like this and reactions, as well as the YouTube version of the show, Section 420 Talkin Yankees. Search it, subscribe there as well. So some of it a blow for Yankee. I don't think it derails anything. He had a great 2024 campaign, was the American League Rookie of the Year, and this has been coming back after he went down with Tommy John surgery in late 2022, which took him out for 22 and 23. Had a really good spring last year, which kind of opened Boone's eyes, and of course remember that last start he had against the Phillies. I think he had like 8 strikeouts or something like that, and that really caught Boone's attention to award him with the 5th starter spot. And for the most part, he stayed healthy. Throughout the 2024 season, got double-digit wins, and again, before was the American League Rookie of the Year, and you would hope you could be able to build upon that, but now, again, having this situation, is it the worst in the world? This is not like something that's going to require surgery, something like that. I mean, he's just going to have to be shut down. He just can't throw it all, so... And in terms of a timetable, this ain't at least 3 months. So now you're looking at best case scenario, maybe you get him back in June. Now, as mentioned before, now with Stroman, obviously now it presents a situation where now he could get one of the 5 starting spots and kind of quiets him down from his barking. And it's actually it's in a way it's a good news because Stroman, as we know, as per what he always does, he always has strong first half of the season. And it's always the second half of the season that kind of spirals downward for him. Well, if that's the case, you have him in your starting rotation. Well, you're probably going to get the better version of Stroman to at least kick off the season. And then maybe by the time he starts to, get fatigued or tired, loses some effectiveness, maybe by that time, Luis Gil will come back. And then it's not worth really speculating what would happen at that point because, so many different things could happen. We don't know if Clark Schmidt's also going to be in the starting rotation. We don't know if maybe Cole goes down, maybe Rodon goes down. So can't really speculate there. But at least... the only good news is that usually you get the better version of Stroman in April, May, and June, and that kind of was the case for the Yankees last season when the Yankees rotation was historically just really good. And it was ironically once Cole came back when they started to scuff a little bit, but Stroman was part of that where things were sitting pretty for the Yankees April, May, and June before Cole did come back there. So again, not all bad news for the Yankees in that regard, and not an injury where he's out for the year and needs surgery. But again, you just like to see Luis Gil build on what he did last season, but looks like that's not the case. So yet another injury, for the Yankees there, and this is racking them up. You're talking about Stanton and his elbows. He's definitely going to be on the IL to start the season. The previous episode just kind of mentioned DJ LeMahieu tweaking his calf, and you have a couple of pitchers also dealing with some soreness now. So, you get some of this in spring training, but you figure one of these is going to come down the pike, and especially when you have 6 starters for 5 spots, it happens all the time that usually these things solve themselves. Well, in this case, it did. So we'll catch you next time.